And So, Notes on the Bible and Religion. Episode 52, Be Resolute. As a kid, I would stay up on December 31st in my church's fellowship hall with other kids and several faithful grown-ups to ring in the new year. There was a meal and games and treats. I don't recall any religious programs those nights, but there probably were some. And I don't recall ever seriously considering any New Year's resolutions at that age. Maybe I did. It was at one of those long evenings that I watched a teenager, several years older than me, win some kid's challenge of stuffing an entire cheeseburger into his mouth and then chew and swallow it. It was one of those early 1980s small patty burgers. A few minutes later, hiding from others, I tried cramming one of those burgers into my mouth. I failed. I bet I could do it now because I'm all grown up. But for that same reason, I probably won't ever do that. It is not uncommon for people to try to prove something about themselves. Maybe I've been trying to do that with this podcast I've been sharing with you this year. I'd like to say that I have been thankful for the opportunity. Accordingly, and as we end the year together, I'd like to share in the remainder of this podcast some things that are somewhat personal. I will start with the idea of New Year's resolutions. Among the top ones are things such as exercising more, losing weight, learning or experiencing something new, reading more, quitting smoking, and spending time with family and friends. Years ago, I had swore to myself really, that when a full draft of my first novel was completed, I would stop smoking. I was resolute about it. Resolute. Now that's a word we don't often hear. It means admirably purposeful, determined, and unwavering. I was resolute about quitting smoking. I quit cold turkey, as they say. After one last cigarette, I would never smoke again. I had resolved to quit, and I did, and it wasn't easy. Even so, I've faced other challenges before and since that one. Long before I ever seriously considered quitting smoking, I woke up one morning after my world had fallen apart. I was a very young man, and nothing seemed right. Perhaps because of my upbringing and whatever else I considered important at that time, a thought entered my mind. It was something like, if this could happen to me, how many others must similarly be in such a bad way? Life isn't always easy. As a new year dawns, I share some biblical advice about trusting in the Lord. Cast all your anxieties on Him, because He cares for you. Be sober-minded. Be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. Resist him, firm in your faith, knowing that the same kinds of suffering are being experienced by your brotherhood throughout the world. 1 Peter 5, 7 through 9. And so, ours is a global kinship. As we complete one year and start another, I offer this. In challenging times, consider a humble and resolute life, and may the peace of Christ be with you. Something to think about. It takes 21 days to form a habit. What habit would you like to form? Print and ebook editions of And So, Notes on the Bible and Religion are available on Amazon. More information on my work may be found at jasoncdikehouse.com.